Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, NFL draft, how was it last night? Were you fired up? Were you drinking? Were you loving it?
I watched the first, I probably watched the first hour, and then I left to go to dinner.
No.
Didn't watch the whole thing. I was getting little tweets back and forth, like, oh, hey, dude, this is going on. Adam Schefter really kept me in the whole thing. Honestly, I don't like how the draft is. I don't like all the time in between, and then I have to hear the analyst. I get very bored.
First hour that you probably watched, it sounds like, was pretty awful. We were subjected to Kings of Leon. I don't know why in 2021 that's
what's
a thing.
going on there. I don't understand.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
And then the first pick didn't happen till like 8:30. Like, hey, we're here at 8:00. Let's get these going. We already knew Lawrence and Wilson were going first, so that kind of bothered me. But once it started going at number 3, and we'll get into all of it throughout the show, I thought it was pretty entertaining. The quarterbacks went to some interesting places. Okay. The Dolphins made their 2 picks. A lot to unpack. One thing that bummed me out, I'm just going to say it. The Aaron Rodgers thing just bummed me out. The draft is one of my favorite days, Mike. It's a day for the draft, and it's all about the college prospects, the college quarterbacks. What are these teams going to do? Who's going to trade up? The Rodgers thing was such a wrinkle in it all, and then nothing even happened. He didn't get traded. So, like, what was all that about?
You didn't like the excitement? Like, that got me excited. I'm like, oh shit, could Rodgers go somewhere else? Is he becoming a diva? He married a Hollywood celebrity and he's a diva all of a sudden? What's going on? Like, that's what my thought was.
Well, yeah, if you would have gotten traded last night, that would have been very entertaining and it would have been great, but it didn't happen. So, like, we know he's not going to get traded now because you would just trade him for next year's draft picks and you can just do that next offseason. So he's not going anywhere for the next 9 months, like, guaranteed. So that's why it's like a bummer for me.
But could he pull, like, I'm not showing up kind of thing? Like, you trade me or I'm not showing up.
Yeah, but what's the incentive for them to not do it next February when they'll still get the same draft picks that they would get right now?
No, I know. I mean, it's too late. Like, you should have traded at the first round. Like, you want Trevor Lawrence, you want Aaron Rodgers. I would take probably Aaron Rodgers at this point, even though I don't like him that much.
Lawrence, no. Lawrence is going to be special. Okay. Lawrence will be special. Like him or Zach Wilson, you could say Rodgers or anyone else on the list. But Lawrence or Rodgers, disagree with that.
Do you want to get into the winners and losers of the night? I know you love this.
Let's do some studs and duds.
All right, here we go. We have no music, but we do have graphics. So if you are watching, right.
Do you want to show us your map? You have a map first?
By the way, don't forget to call us. I never talk about our hangover hotline. It is still active. It's going to scroll right here. The number's right here, so you can see it. 323-334-0239. Just like a regular radio station. Just call us, text us. I want some
People
feedback.
Don't understand. So 99% of our listeners/viewers are actually listeners on the podcast, and that's great. Thanks for downloading, subscribing. Keep doing what you're doing. We're actually hosting a TV show right now. This is actually a live TV show. We have visuals, we have graphics, we're on camera. There's a lot going on. I'm surprised my internet's holding up, but let's go for it. You have a map here. Tell the people what they're not seeing, Mike.
I would say if you want to see what's happening, check out our Instagram or check out our YouTube page. We have a YouTube page. Now, our YouTube page was big back in the day before YouTube took off. In 2013, we strictly for 1 year only did YouTube and we stopped audio altogether. There's a weird drift in our timeline where we have no audio for a whole entire year.
That is weird. Video. So we weren't a podcast for a year. We were something else.
Yeah, we were a TV show.
I thought you were going to say that was before I lost my hair because you actually have exclusive video of J-Dog with hair on the YouTube page, and you should check that out for no other reason.
All right. So if you're looking, I mean, most people aren't looking, but I have a map up here of where most of the NFL draft picks came from last year, the first 2 rounds of last year of the last 10 drafts. So this is last year. But I thought it was interesting. Like, California, Texas, Georgia, Florida.
Yeah, it's the Sun Belt, right? We got to describe it for like blind people who are watching us, who are only listening to us. So it's all across the South. The Sun Belt is all lit up red on Mike's map here. We got Florida, Georgia, Texas, California as the reddest states. That's not a surprise. The SEC is well represented with Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. And then you look up in the Northwest and the Mountain West, we're seeing not much.
not much.
Josh Allen came from Wyoming. I can't name many other players from that that area.
Interesting. All right, I didn't know that. All right, let's do your NFL draft studs.
All right, we're doing studs and duds. We have visuals going. Tell the people one more time, as direct as possible. Where on YouTube? Where on Instagram?
Just go to YouTube and look at our most recent show.
Who are we? If they don't know,
just search the Sports Hangover on YouTube and you will find us. We are there. You can go. I think you can go to youtube.com/the Sports Hangover and find us. There'll be links in the description if you really want to get a good look at us and this beautiful visual we have going on right now.
Yeah, I have a different backdrop every week. I don't have a home, just so people don't judge me.
So tell me what's going on here.
All right, studs and duds. Let's go through it. My first stud is 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan, Mike. Really interesting. We all thought it was Mac Jones leading up to the draft. He made the big move from 12 to 3, and he got us. And that's what you want about the draft. You want to get got, and we all got because he took Trey Lance from North Dakota State. No one really saw it coming until the final hours of the draft. We started to see some betting line shift on it. That's when you really know. So the guy's developmental, but he's got a ton of potential. It seems like he has the running ability, the passing ability, the big arm, the accuracy. I don't think he's going to play all year, which is interesting, Mike. He played for North Dakota State. They had COVID problems. They didn't play last year. So he's basically going to have 2 years off. That seems bad for his development. Something to follow. But I bet Jimmy G plays most of this year.
Did you see the news that came out after they picked it that no one else knew who they were picking until they actually picked it? Which
I love that shit. I don't know.
A lot of trust in Shanahan here. It's just like, all right, I guess we're gonna fully trust you on this one. And what did they say? Didn't they say like, how can we pass up on one of the greatest talents of all time, like in this draft? Like that's what they're basically saying Trey Lance was.
Yeah, not everyone said that because, when we thought Mac Jones was going at 3, we didn't know where Trey Lance was going, maybe 4, maybe 6, maybe 9. So no one really said he was generational. And now, of course, Shanahan would say that. But I think one of the reasons that Shanahan's a stud here is because Trey Lance is going into an amazing situation. If you're a quarterback, you want to play for Shanahan more than you want to play for Nagy or any of these other spots where the quarterbacks went. Yeah. So I think it's a great spot for Lance, and he's a guy you might want to buy some stock in.
I like it. All right, you're dud. Who?
All right, this is a great picture. Zach Wilson posted this picture yesterday on his own Twitter account, and got a lot of funny responses. Kind of weird, staring in the mirror. He looks like a child. That's the first thing that jumps out.
Somebody had to take this photo. Like he had to have somebody come in the bathroom and take a photo of him like this. Yeah, no hands.
I mean, how old do you think he looks there?
Oh my God. You could say he's like your 15-year-old brother.
Yeah, you'd think he's 15, yet he is the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. So you can understand why it's a dud. He just doesn't, I don't know. Okay, so he's a good-looking guy. We've talked about it before. He could be in a Disney Channel movie. That doesn't mean he's going to be successful as a Jets quarterback. The pressure is going to be instant. We don't know how he is as a leader. He's going from Mormon area at BYU to New York City, which is a huge change.
Not many Mormons over there.
Yeah. No, apparently he hasn't spent much time in New York City. And I think he's small. When you look at him here, he doesn't look like a big quarterback. I know he's 6'2", so he's tall, but he's not strong.
Did you see him with all the other guys when they were like showing like the show before? They were all standing there and he was like trying to look cool and like very uncomfortable because there are all these huge guys around him. He's just this like little white dude like, hey, I'm here. I'm a quarterback.
He looks spooked for sure. So that's a dud. I think it's a terrible situation for him. They did move up for an offensive lineman, which I thought was a bad idea. I think you only move up for quarterbacks, Mike. The only reason you would ever move up in a draft is for a quarterback. Because the Jets, remember I told you last week on the show how many holes they had to fill?
Yeah.
They gave up 2 third-round picks to move up. Those are 2 holes they can't fill all of a sudden. So I don't like that move, even though they're trying to protect Wilson. They're trying to protect him because he's brittle.
Yeah, definitely. He's a little.
All right, how about this one? Another stud. Think about this: the quarterbacks Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, and Trevor Lawrence. All last night. This is crazy. All last night they got a weapon that they played with in college. It's really crazy. Joe Burrow got Jamar Chase for the Bengals. Tua got Jalen Waddle from Alabama. The picture that we're looking at live on the visual right now is Jalen Waddle running with the ball in his hands for a touchdown in the national championship game against Georgia. Do you see in the background that quarterback?
Is that your boy?
Number 13?
Is that Tua?
That's Tua. Tua threw him the pass. Pretty cool picture, I thought.
So can I talk about your boy? Is Tua excited about this move? Right? Is he a winner tonight? Is Tua a winner or should I sell stock? Because I mean, worried.
Tua's on the stud list, so clearly he's a winner. Okay. Listen, Tua was on Instagram Live loving the pick last night, and the Dolphins could have gone either way. They could have gone Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. I wanted Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase for the Dolphins, but it makes sense to give him an Alabama receiver.
So let's real quick fantasy. I'm not great at fantasy, but I try hard. I have Tua. I have Tua right now. Drafted him last year, $2. He's my boy. Am I keeping him or am I selling him? Now,
yeah, you're keeping Tua. He's going to be a top 12 quarterback this year. I do think
you're
so.
blind.
Yeah. Unless Aaron Rodgers is available, then we'll give him the Green Bay so fast. More on that to come. Okay, Jalen Hurts is also, go back up. Jalen Hurts is also on that list. He got Devontae Smith to the Eagles, so that's a player that he played with at Alabama. And Trevor Lawrence, Mike, he went to the Jaguars. He got his running back, Travis Etienne. If you're talking about fantasy, a lot of people compare Travis Etienne to Alvin Kamara, catching and running ability. Urban Meyer is going to want to throw the ball to the running back. Travis Etienne's in a great spot with Trevor Lawrence.
I love it. All right. Look at you, Jeremy. It's like you're a pro here. It's like I got my own Adam Schefter.
Well, thanks for directing the show for me, really. That's all we really need from you right now. We're looking at Sam Darnold here, Carolina Panthers. So they traded Teddy Bridgewater the day before the draft, and that opened my eyes to, okay, we're going to be ultra aggressive at the quarterback position, and we're going to pair Sam Darnold and a first-round pick, let them battle, and we'll see who plays the best, and whoever plays the best will pay, and whoever doesn't play the best will trade. It just makes sense, like challenge Sam Darnold. Instead, they took a cornerback, and I didn't love the first-round pick at corner with Justin Fields and Mac Jones available. I don't think Darnold's going to be great for the Panthers. Maybe he's better than what they've had. I think they're a dud because they didn't give him any competition. Darnold's not good enough to just go in as your starting quarterback.
I think it might be a stud play for Carolina. I'm going to flip it on you because I think what he needs is just a refresher, like sometimes maybe if like you're dating somebody, it's like, oh, this is terrible. But in some other relationships, it can be a great, loving relationship. Maybe that's all he needed. He needed a new girlfriend, and that is the Carolina Panthers. I have hope for him. There was like little blips of him being good. Obviously that last game of the season where it screwed over the Jets, maybe he knew he was leaving, so he's just like, screw you guys.
Yeah.
It's there. And he had what did he have, mono for a year, which I didn't think was like a real.
Was it a year?
I thought it was a whole year, or did he come back like halfway through the season?
That's a long mono spell.
Yeah. I thought you only get mono in like middle school.
He's got a great offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. I think instead of what you're saying, I think this move is telling us that they're gearing up for Deshaun Watson and or Aaron Rodgers when they become available next year. Because what they did is the Panthers, they said, we're not going to take a quarterback. We'll figure that out later. And they're sticking with Darnold, which means Darnold's not the long-term guy. Look out for Deshaun Watson going to Carolina.
Or is it that they just think they're going to be so bad they're going to get a first-round pick? Could this be the worst team in the league this year?
I don't think they'll be that bad. I like the coaching staff, Matt Rule, Joe Brady. I don't think they'll be that bad. They should be improved. I just didn't like the pick. They could have taken Justin Fields and had him compete. All right, Justin Herbert's a stud. Look at this picture. Look at these pictures we have today.
Baby.
Look at his hair. The guy, I just have hair envy, as I mentioned. Don't have any myself, and this is just a special set of lettuce here. For Justin Herbert. So he got a left tackle, Rashawn Slater from Northwestern. The line was a problem for the Chargers last year. Slater's like a top 5 talent. He never should have been available at 13. Teams were chasing these corners and receivers, and the offensive tackle, the second best one, fell to 13. The Chargers will put him at left tackle for the next 5 years, pay him on a cheap contract, and Herbert will be protected.
I love the Chargers. I think they're going to be excited. They are LA's team at this point because the Rams, not that.
What's wrong with the Rams? Matt Stafford?
No, come on. They're done. They're just trying to move money around and try to fill some slots right now. They knew Jared Goff was bad. They're probably going to play that backup, whoever that guy was.
By the way, no, they're not. The Rams GM has COVID and he's missing their draft tonight. He's drafting on his own. Kind of sucks for him.
Yeah, not fun. But the war room's kind of boring. Like the Seattle didn't have first round pick. Did you see the Instagram photo they sent out? It was just like empty cutouts of everybody in the war room because nothing was happening that night.
I didn't see that. The funniest shot last night I thought was the Green Bay Packers war room because they looked so upset and so sad, and also it was like fluorescent lights and like 4 white walls. Like one, you're in Green Bay, and 2, you pissed off Rodgers. You're just not having a good night.
Do you think Rodgers is actually pissed off, or is it just, I need a way out of here at some point and I need to start it right now, and I'm going to play really angry this season? Because I thought he played angry for the last 2 seasons. Wasn't great.
I feel like you're blaming him a little bit, Mike. Yeah. I think, they drafted Jordan Love in the first round last year when they could have drafted a receiver like Justin Jefferson. We went over that recently. Then they took a running back in the second round, like, oh, that's great. And then you re-signed Aaron Jones. So what was the point of the running back? And again, last night, another chance to take a receiver to help Aaron Rodgers, and they go cornerback. So they're not helping him at all. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'd be pissed too.
So if you were going to pull off a trade with Aaron Rodgers, say the draft's over, they can trade him away. I saw that on a salary cap or something. He's still owed $37 million if they don't trade him before June 1st or something like that. So I don't know what.
Like I said, you don't trade him before next February, so it's going to be a lot of talk about nothing. But you don't have to trade a quarterback because they have Jordan Love. So I think you just traded a bunch of first-round picks.
Okay.
I've got a dud here. It's your boy, Jon Gruden. The visuals are just amazing. Please watch us live on YouTube or Instagram right now. It's the Sports Hangover on either place. Jon Gruden didn't have a good draft yet again. So he picked the offensive tackle, Alex Leatherwood, who Mel Kiper started ripping him for. Like the draft coverage, Mike, I know you weren't watching. It was so positive. Like Booger and Lewis Riddick and Kiper. I know you do. They're loving everybody. Like every pick, they love. The Raiders pick at 17, and Mel Kiper started crushing Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock for terrible value. And apparently it was a guy who should have gone like late second round, early third round. They took a 17th overall. And what I would say is, and that's the same thing in fantasy football, we go through it as drafters ourselves. It's okay to fall in love with a player and make sure you get him. That's okay. But you have to manipulate the draft board and know where the value is. Sounds like the Raiders could have easily traded back 10 spots, maybe in the second round gotten this dude. You don't get the good value there. Also, they could have traded up for a quarterback. We're not Derek Carr people, neither one of us.
No.
Mac Jones and Justin Fields were there. Like Mac Jones went 2 spots ahead of the Raiders. They could have easily jumped the Patriots for him. The Raiders had a bad night.
Don't they also have what's his name? That fucking Tennessee guy,
Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota, yeah. Why can't?
Well, what's he doing?
Not doing much, I guess. All right, what do we got? Right, Raiders. There he is.
There he is, a stud, Bill Belichick. Look at that picture of Bill. He's never looked better in the draft room. So Belichick, he didn't trade up for a quarterback. I told you, I guaranteed you last week he was going to end up with a quarterback. I thought he was going to trade up, but he did end up with one.
He didn't have to.
He didn't have to. He sat right there at 15. And Mac Jones, I was so pissed, Mike, last night as it was unfolding because he's such a perfect quarterback for the Patriots. He's accurate. He's a leader. He played at a successful college, at a big program. He's not mobile. Does it remind you of anyone?
Yeah, a lot of memes last night of him and Tom Brady, both unathletic
they have the
bodies.
Same body.
Yeah, you take off your shirt, they look exactly the same. Now, what's his name? Mac might be a little bit heavier than Brady coming into the NFL, but still definitely not a mobile guy.
Yeah, so I think it's perfect for the Patriots and Mac Jones too. It's a good system for him. I think Cam Newton will play this year. He's on the 1-year deal, just as I told you. That was all an appearance, so the free agents signed there. Oh, we have Cam. Oh, we're going to be good. The whole idea was to build a lot of free agents and then have the cheap rookie quarterback for the next 5 years. I want to say Sportstradamus nailed this one last week.
I'm going to have to go back to our records and make sure. We're going to have to verify that.
Well, I just told you I did. All right, my final one. You got to do it. The Steelers are a dud. So the Steelers, a lot of hype about what they were going to do in the draft. Would it be offensive line or running back? They went with the running back, Najee Harris. And the guy's not bad. He's not a bad running back. It's okay on paper. And then you consider, and my guy Warren Sharp was helping me out with this, Mike. I know you love Warren Sharp.
He's a great guy, yeah.
The Steelers' offensive line has gone from 12th in the NFL back in 2018 all the way to 31st last year. They were 28th in 2019, 31st last year. You can put the best running back on planet Earth behind that offensive line, and he'll probably look pretty terrible. And Najee Harris is a great running back. But what's the point when you don't have the offensive line? Take the O-line in the first round. Take the O-line in the second round. Get the running back in the third round. And in two nights, they could have transformed the whole thing. Now they're going to have average offensive linemen because they might take them tonight in round 2 and 3, maybe round 4 and 5. It's not going to help Najee get the job done. The Steelers are duds. They're living in the 1990s. We had Ben's last season, and we give him a running back. Bad. I don't like it.
So did you talk to our mutual friend at all?
I'll whisper to you. He likes it.
He liked it. Interesting.
He likes it. He's old school too.
Yeah. So I wonder what Big Lou thinks also of this pick. So
Big Lou, give him the Hangover hotline number just to remind him.
It's here it is. It's 323-334-0239. Hit us up, Big Lou, or any Steelers fans. I thought it was a funny move because you heard all these other things like, oh, they need this, they need that, and they still take a running back. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's just from the outside looking in, we obviously know, okay, there's holes. Like, well, Big Ben's going to go soon. Are you looking for a quarterback? Are you looking for some more receivers? Maybe somebody else other than Juju. Wait, is Juju there anymore? Or is he gone?
Juju came back. Yeah,
Juju came back. But it's just, I don't know. It's almost like when you're building your team, sometimes you're like in it so much. You're like, God, this guy's good. I just got to take him, which I guess sometimes can make sense too. Because in a draft, if you're in a snake draft, and there's 3 guys there, but this guy is the best guy at his position, it's hard to say no. So I don't blame him, but it is funny that this is not going to help them at all this year.
Their starting center retired. Their starting right tackle left to sign with the Baltimore Ravens. They have 2 holes right there. That's my list. That's my.
I know. All right.
My studs.
So these were the other headlines. Look at this. We can walk through.
Let's walk through.
Do we want to do it? We don't have to do the whole thing. And now it's a lot of text based stuff.
Okay, we're done there. We're done with the visuals. Thanks for coming to our.
Well, no visual. We can pop up visuals whenever you want. I have some big dick energy, real quick.
Okay.
Big dick energy. Winner of the week.
So my big dick energy is our boy Trevor Lawrence, new Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback. He's getting paid in crypto. Everybody's going crypto. He partnered with Blockfolio. I love it. Everybody's going crypto. Get your money in crypto. A lot of other NFL players are doing it. I think it just makes sense. Why not?
Question. Yeah. Why does he have to get it in crypto? Why can't he take it normal and put it straight into crypto himself?
I think it might be, I get it. You could just buy it yourself, but I think just getting it in Bitcoin just sent over to you, it's a little more, it's quicker. You don't have to go deposit your money. There's no steps involved. I could send you $1 million with Bitcoin showing you my address right now, and you could instantly get it over to you. So I think there's something about the speed. It's very, very easy.
My Coinbase account went down the last few days. Mike, care to comment?
You got to diversify. You cannot be just in the big 2. You got to be spread out between a lot of little DeFi coins. You got to be out there. You got to just play the field. Can't do it all.
Always got something. Always got a rebuttal.
I have a ton of coins. I can show you my holdings. There's a lot of coins.
Okay.
Can't just go to. Yeah, but
right. Can we play Bullshit or Believe?
Yeah, we can play Bullshit or Believe. Bullshit or Believe time. Bullshit or Believe time. Bullshit or Believe.
All right, let's jump back to one of your big headlines. I need a prediction on the record so we can go back and listen to this. Bullshit or Believe, Aaron Rodgers never plays for the Packers again.
I want to say believe, but I'm going to go bullshit. It does seem almost impossible to move him. GMs are coming out saying he's not going anywhere. So I don't know how he could move. He can be grumpy. He can complain. Seems like he's grumpy and complaining all the time. I don't know.
Hosting Jeopardy, he was very pleasant. He might do that full time, it turns out.
Well, he was he was in a good mood. He just got married, which was very random, right? He just met I don't know her name, but got married from the girl from that HBO show that was
Olivia
really good.
Munn?
No, not Olivia Munn. That was years ago. This is
Shailene Woodley.
Yeah.
Big Little Lies. That was a good show.
Great show. Got married to her. Bad. You didn't like the ending.
Can I spoil it for people?
I don't care. Spoil it. This is.
They all walked into the police station together, and it's like, this is how it ends. You all go to jail.
There might be number 2.
Oh, really? I thought they couldn't re-sign that cast because it was such a good cast. They'll never reunite.
Well, they got Nicole Kidman for another show. I'm sure HBO has some money they could pull.
Yeah, Kidman was great. Reese Witherspoon was okay.
She was fun. She was the lighthearted, crazy character. You need that.
What a turn we just took.
I don't know. What were we talking about? Where were we going? Aaron Rodgers. He's that's bullshit. He will be playing. Unfortunately, that would have been a great move. And the NFL never has exciting moves like that. I think the NBA does it a lot more where a LeBron gets moved or traded or he's going over here. NFL, it's all right, we kind of know, you're going to trade this guy. Not a lot of big moves.
What was this D-bag Mark Schlereth doing last night, saying on Twitter that the Broncos had a deal close to done for Aaron Rodgers? And then they took a corner. They didn't even take a quarterback. I don't know. It just... It doesn't report bullshit, please.
Yeah, well, Teddy's over there. That we didn't talk about that. Teddy's in Denver right now. I think that's a really good move for them. I felt like it was a solid move
for Denver.
They need
better
somebody
than Drew Lock.
Yeah, it's a slight upgrade, right?
He's expensive. One more bullshit or believe. Right. Tim Tebow will play tight end for Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I love these random headlines. They come out of nowhere. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is believable. Isn't he our age? Is he not in his 30s?
Yeah, he's in his 30s. He's a baseball player for the Mets.
Yeah, sure. Isn't he on the minor league? He's on.
Yeah, but he gets hits. He doesn't have a 0 batting average.
But is this something? Have you ever seen a 30-year-old? Well, I guess wasn't Brandon Whedon 30 when he was in the NFL? Wasn't he almost 30? I think he was. I can look that up.
Yeah, He played baseball first, and then he went to college.
Yeah,
that's right.
I just don't think there's like a 30-something-year-old that comes in and all of a sudden changes position, and now I'm going to be a tight end, right? That's not like a thing. Like you can't go try out tomorrow and be a tight end.
Well, it's ironic, right, that he should have been a tight end all along, and he could have been in the NFL, and he was always too proud. And now that he's older, I guess he knows he'll never come back as a quarterback. And he's tight with Urban Meyer, of course. That was his college coach at Florida, so it kind of makes sense. And he's got the good quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, there, and he'd be a great leader on the team. I kind of want to say believe, and it's going to happen. I mean,
really,
I think the NFL, I think Schefter had the Rodgers story ready to go in case anything Tebow ever popped up that he just didn't want to deal with. And the Tebow thing came out like yesterday afternoon, and like 30 minutes later, Schefter goes, Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, and no one mentioned Tebow again. Thank God, mercifully. But it just goes to show, like, they tried to suffocate the Tebow news thing.
Now, if you ever go back and watch some of our old YouTube videos in 2013, we talked about Tebow almost every single week. Like there was
our ratings at that time were amazing.
Booming. We were booming back then.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how
download days.
Those were the good download days. I just don't understand what the point is. Like at this point, you've hosted like College Game Day, you've done all these other things. What is the drive to go want to be a tight end and get beat up? You're playing baseball. You can make good money playing baseball. You don't need to go get your head hit multiple times playing a tight end and learn the new position. You got to block. You got to do all these things. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. And it's frustrating.
I agree, but I think he'll be there. So stay tuned to the Sports Hangover because we're going to bring back the summer of Tebow.
I love it. Hot boy summer. Do you want to do I have some Scandal City.
Yeah.
Hopefully there we go.
Time to dig up the dirtiest stories around the sport world in this week's Scandal City.
So the first scandal, well, it wasn't really a scandal, but Triller, Jake Paul, the thing that they were fighting, his little fight company, they're suing all these people or websites that there's 12 streaming websites, as well as 100 unnamed individuals that illegally streamed his fight. So I'm just saying this is wild that he's actually going after it. I've never seen anything like this where they go after all these people. But he's going $100 million.
Us? Were we included in that?
We did not illegally stream that. We did not. No. Our mutual friend, Gay Dog, he bought it. Unfortunately, he was towards this like $2 million or whatever they made, or $75 million. Wow. So he's suing him. So I thought that was a little scandalous right there.
That is scandalous. The scandalous part of it is that it ever happened, and we all watched it. That was the most scandalous part.
And another one, Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul, not Jake Paul, Logan Paul are fighting.
There's two of them? Oh, God.
Yeah, I think he's the older brother. So he's fighting Floyd Mayweather. I don't know how they're doing this. It's becoming, boxing has become, remember back in the old days, the MTV like death match where they were like cartoon characters fighting each other? This is what it's become. We've predicted 20 years in the future, boxing is no longer a real sport. It's a celebrity sport.
Yeah, we did see that coming. Maybe it draws better viewership as a celebrity sport. We talked about how it was like a concert last week, and there was people tuning in all over the place who normally wouldn't tune into a fight. The Floyd Mayweather one is interesting because the Paul brothers are big boys, and Floyd's a little boy, but he's a quick boy. And sorry to use boy so much, but he is. And so I don't think he'll ever be hit, but the Pauls will have a lot of like range and length on him. But Floyd's best moves are like, how he would dodge. That last fight we saw him, I forget who it was against. He was just playing defense the whole time, and then he won. So I would expect something like that. I don't think Floyd goes down to the Paul brothers.
I got one more scandal. I don't know if you're allowed to comment on this, but NBC Sports has lost all NHL games. Is this correct? Is this what I read?
I think I'm freezing.
Okay.
Up. Who's buying it?
Starting next season, all NHL games will be broadcast by ESPN and Turner Sports. So they'll be on TNT, TBS, HBO Max, and ESPN.
What do you think of it?
I think it's great for the sport. I think finally getting out of the bucket of NBC Sports Channel where it's very hard to find it, and they never feature it. They never feature it on NBC. Rarely.
Wow, you're not a Doc Embrick guy? Okay.
I love Doc. They better get Doc somehow back involved, but I don't know how they could grow the sport when it's on this like sub channel. Now ESPN, people know ESPN, they tune into ESPN.
Well, TNT is not something you ever watch. You're going to have to seek that out.
But TNT are B games. They're the B games. They'll be on TNT, TBS,
the Stanley Cup Finals will be on TNT.
Stanley Cup Finals will be on ESPN.
Every other year they'll alternate.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And the theme song's coming back. So I thought it was a good move for him. I think this is where other sports are, so more people tune in. I know there was golf on NBC Sports, but I just didn't know if you had any comments or inner workings of what may or may not have happened over there.
Certainly not for you. I think it's great that Steve Levy and Barry Melrose get to do hockey again on ESPN. Don't care about the Turner bullshit aspect of it.
It's just weird that Steve Levy and what's his name? God, what's his name?
Barry Melrose.
Barry Melrose has become more and more of like a slime ball looking guy over the years because there like hasn't been hockey. And I just imagine him like in a back room corner somewhere, like, here I come. We're going to talk some hockey now. And he's like all slicked back, ready to go.
The hair's great. More hair envy. That's the theme here.
Yeah.
Great hair.
I love it. Okay. Just moving on there. But I thought that was I thought that was big news for the NHL world.
Well, literally, it's not, because the NHL, no one really cares about it. But I'm glad that it was big news to you.
That was big. It's small dollars.
Do you want to talk about the great sports that continue on NBC? Like Premier League is super exciting. We talked about the scandal recently with the Super League, and they tried to take down the Premier League, and then like a day later, we're like, no. Week, what else can we talk about? Golf is a great addition. WWE WrestleMania is an NBC sport now. That's amazing. So there are a lot of great options.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And I love that the future of Peacock is bright with all these other live things that they're going on over there. I just thought this was a miss by them. You know, you can see it from the outside looking in. You're like, oh, you know what? They should have probably held on to it for a little longer.
Well, we can disagree, and we can edit this out. So that's
all right. That's all we got. Don't forget to go to thesportshangover.com. The full videos are also on thesportshangover.com. I post them there with every episode on the blog. You can buy. Hey, hot boy, hot girl, hot everything summer is coming up. It's booming. We have tanks, tees. We're ready for the summer, Jeremy. I am so ready. I'm ready.
Mike, it's going to be May. And that means Memorial Day is right around the corner, which means that's the start of the anti-COVID era.
That's right.
Except in Seattle, Washington, where I'm heading. Thanks a lot, you hooligans who won't get your vaccine, who won't allow for restaurants to open. Different story. But Memorial Day is a true opening of America. Joe Biden's talking about July 4th. That'll be fun. Memorial Day is where it starts. So I'm coming out to see you Memorial Day. We're going to have a party. We're going to get together. I hope everyone does. And you're going to wear your sports hangover gear from thesportshangover.com. The tanks, the tees, the hoodies, whatever you need, it's all there.
No hoodie. Actually, you might need some hoodies here because it does get a little cool at the beach.
Yeah, nighttime, fireplace, you know.
Oh, it sounds great. All right, cool. Check out the sportshangover.com. Don't forget, text us 323-334-0239. Comments are great. Also, you can tune in. Occasionally, people catch us live, make some comments on the show. We're a full-on production now.
It's really something. It's the evolution of this show. They're going to write books about the Sports Hangover one day. We've had such a roller coaster ride.
Up and down, up and down. All right, if we don't get our last message, hopefully we are back next week.